Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Sam's Corner. Today, I have the most amazing guy in Canada, in my opinion, the Twitter legend, Patrick Lindsay. Welcome to the March Madness edition, and really the best time of the year edition to me. Like, this is the best weekend in sports, and what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you're right. First off, thanks for having me back on. You've put out some great videos since my last time on, and really enjoyed watching those. But you're right. I mean, it's this past weekend, beginning first round and round of 32, and just the whole March Madness in general. Then leading up to Augusta, you can't beat that as a sports fan.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna jump right into the action on the March Madness. I mean, there's so many games to talk about, but what game really intrigued you the most, like the upset?
Yeah, I definitely liked watching Loyola Chicago, because you're familiar with them. You want to see if they can do it again or if it was just a fluke back in 2018, but 2017, my bad. But also Oral Roberts, a 15 seed that brings you back to like the Florida Gulf Coast year whenever they made it all the way to the Sweet 16, stuff like that. That's what March is all about. And those games were, fun to watch.
Oh yeah. Still disappointed in LSU. That was a game that really just
Yeah, you're confident about that one.
yeah, LSU is deep, but I think Michigan was just a little bit more far stretched than them in that game. But LSU I always don't pick them to do good, and they make a Sweet 16 run, but I thought they were destined for it, but it's March Madness. So Alabama, man, this is a team that you never really know what you're going to get on the floor. I mean, they get smoked one night, and then the next night they'll put 100 on you like there's no tomorrow. And I don't know I've liked what I've seen, but can they get past Gonzaga? Do you think there's any possibility of maybe?
Yeah, maybe they can. You see crazier things have happened in March for sure. And Alabama is a really good team. After losing to Clemson early on in the year, they really have just put their foot on the gas and haven't really let up. Like you mentioned, they lose a couple here and there, but they have the ability to hang 100 on anyone if they're making shots. That's what it's going to take to beat a good team like Gonzaga. We'll see if they can do it. I think they can, but it's March. You got to love watching a game like that.
Oh yeah. I know you said this guy got into some garbage minutes and made some dunks the other night, but what did you like to see Chavez Goodwin? It felt like he had a span of about 4 dunks in a row. Do you think USC do you think they'll beat Oregon?
I think they can. I mean, if you watch their last game against Kansas, they're arguably one of the best teams in the tournament. Obviously, they're not as talked about because they're a 6 seed, but if you watch Evan Mobley play, they got a heck of a player, and like you said, Chavez Goodwin coming off the bench. I was just joking around. I mean, he left from Wofford a little upset about that, but no, I wish him the best, and you can tell he wants it whenever he gets in, and he makes most of his time.
Do you think there's a late bloomer? Like, do you think we'll see maybe a 6 or 7, like you were just talking about in the championship game versus a 1? Like, do you think it's out there?
Yeah, I do. I mean, if you look at years past, there's usually one of those teams that finds a way to get it done. Any team can get hot at this point. If you're making shots, you can make a deep run and find yourself in the Final Four, maybe in the championship. You never know. But you think back with South Carolina making their unprecedented run. They were barely even talked about, really on the bubble coming in, and they just got hot, played good basketball, and made it all the way to the Final Four. So as Carolina fans, I think you got to believe someone can do it.
Yeah, I was watching some like ESPN March Madness stuff today, and I saw where the average seed in the Sweet 16 is a 5.535.
Yeah.
And that's something I saw like coming in during the season. I was like, there's really going to be no like far stretch team that's going to separate. There's going to be no blue bloods. But did you feel the same going in the season?
I mean, it was kind of hard to tell who's really going to play, who's going to, do well all coming off of COVID and stuff like that. And all the pauses they had throughout the season, it was tough to tell. But obviously, you didn't see teams like Kentucky or Duke playing poorly this year. But the 5.5 number, I think that speaks to, the high seeds like a Gonzaga, and then evening it out with a big seed like USC or, Loyola Chicago.
They play basketball like totally differently. They use everybody on the floor, and the big guy they have inside, I didn't think he would be able to withstand Kofi Cockburn the other night, but he played some great basketball. He was on that first team in 2018, and this is his senior year. So, I mean, who knows? Loyola Chicago plays some different basketball, and they play together. And this tournament right here, I wouldn't be surprised if they went to the Final Four.
I agree.
All right, let's jump to Carolina baseball here. Game with the Citadel the other night. I think the final score was 8-3. Will Sanders, 5 innings pitched. I know he had 1 hit. He had about 5 or 6 Ks. Wes Clark with another home run. I mean, we didn't really struggle with the Citadel like we did the first time, and that was good to see back at home when we got Florida coming in this weekend. What did you see out of this team yesterday?
Yeah, I think you got to like what you see after a tough stretch of a couple losses in a row. But coming back home, beating Vandy on Sunday and then coming back and, not slipping up, what's ahead of you. You just got to take care of teams like the Citadel, who still are pretty good. I mean, obviously they're able to beat us, like the challenge we saw early on in the year. But for us just to take care of business in pretty easy fashion, I think you got to like.
Oh, yeah. That was the beginning of a 5-game homestand. Mark Kingston was talking about today in his press conference, maybe moving a Sunday guy in there. Who do you think is the best choice for a Sunday guy? Because I mean, I know Bosnick's he's good, but it seems like he's struggled here as of late. And who do you think?
I'm not really sure who we would put in the spot. It all depends on who they have confidence in. Maybe, you obviously can pull a midweek guy and put him in, or, you can bring a bullpen guy to try and get at least 4 out of him. And if your bullpen does well early on in the series, I mean, if your starters do well in the series, don't have to burn a lot of your bullpen guys early. You can do that, but I think Bosnick just needs some time and build some confidence. You never know if he can get hot and just build some confidence.
Oh yeah, tonight on the SEC Network, Kumar Rocker goes to Mizzou. I love watching that kid pitch. Vandy, they have 2 good starters, but I felt like if Carolina would just get one out early and get to the bullpen, we could find the hits. And I think that may have showed some other teams maybe how to attack Vandy differently. I mean, you just got to get to the bullpen, it seems like.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
You got to get to the bullpen against them. Their starters are too good to let them get in a groove.
Clemson plays Boston College, Alabama, Ole Miss. Let me keep scrolling. NC State, North Carolina, LSU, Tennessee. That's a good series. 2 good teams there. Kentucky, Auburn, Georgia, Texas A&M, Arkansas, Mississippi State. That's 2 and 3 early in the year. It seems like Arkansas, they're built to win one, and they haven't sealed it. Them and Ole Miss. Mike Bianco is probably one of the best coaches in college baseball, and he hadn't won one.
Yeah, I agree. They're both knocking on the door. It's just whether or not they kick it in. And, as many times as they've been there, you got to think they feel at home whenever they're in that moment. So you never know. I mean, they're both good teams, like you said. So Obviously, it's a tough path. There's a lot of great teams in college baseball this year, especially in the SEC, which makes it even harder for teams playing in the Southeastern Conference. But yeah, I agree with you. They've definitely been right there. It's kind of like the Braves in the MLB. They've been there. You just got to go out there and do it.
Yeah, back to the Sunday spot for Carolina. I don't believe Carey needs to be taken out of the bullpen to fulfill that. Like it's like, but whenever Carey comes in out of the bullpen, it's lights out immediately. And I feel like if we lost that out of the bullpen, then we wouldn't have much. I know we threw Will Sanders yesterday, and he pitched really well. I think he is meant to be a starter,
Yeah,
and someone needs to fulfill that role.
he showed he can do it.
Yeah, but we have a lot to look forward to this weekend, and I'm sure we'll talk about it coming up. I think the Mark Kingston ejection was what won that game.
Yeah, I do too. It really gets your guys going whenever you see your coach has your back like that. And it definitely added a spark for him.
The SEC remains in the top 5: Vandy, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Florida, and Florida. Gosh, they can hit. I watched them play Texas A&M the other night, and I think they had like a 12-run third inning, and Texas A&M had no saving grace for that. But it seems like with Florida, I mean, they hit. You got to do the little things to get them against them. But I mean, that's like how it is in the SEC,
You're
right. All right, let's go to the Augusta talk here. It's kind of hard to talk about who is the hottest one going in. It feels like it's a field where really you can just find your bag at Augusta and play well. But who do you think is the hottest player going in to Augusta?
I think right now is Justin Thomas. He's been playing good golf of late. But like you said, it's you always hear about who's the hottest coming in. They're a shoe in to win. You think about when Dustin Johnson, won everything prior to Augusta that one year, and then had the accident on the stairs, and had to withdraw from the tournament. You never know. Anyone can win at Augusta, but it seems like the same guys really do well there. I think you got to like Jordan Spieth. He's been playing well of late.
Westwood.
Lee Westwood, he always does well there. He's hot right now too. But you never know. I think Justin Thomas, based off the length that he has off the tee, at Augusta, that definitely fits him. So you never know.
I think we might could see a DJ repeat though.
Yeah, you definitely could. He's playing well too.
But you never know at Augusta. Like you can come in there having a bad week and you just come back and you're a world beater, and that's the best thing about the tournament. But next we're gonna shift to the Gushers debate versus any other candy here. This Gusher debate is, I mean, one everyone needs to hear, and they need to hear out well. I think Gushers is the best candy or fruit snack, or like it's a go-to, man. It's like everything in one. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm riding with you on this one. You just can't beat them. Like you said earlier, you walk past them and you can't do it. You got to stop. You got to get a box or two and just bring it back with you and just enjoy them. Those things are so good. If I could eat them like 10 in a row, one sitting, I'll do it.
All right. Next is the Carolina Cup. Are you going to the Carolina Cup?
Yeah, I plan to be there. What about you, man?
Oh yeah. It's good to finally see that come back to Camden. I know that was missed by some people last year at the wrong time. It's always something fun to go to. It never changes, man. You never know what you're going to get at the Cup. And it's a great time for anyone watching who hasn't who has never been to the Cup, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Hopefully we get a good weather day. It might be a little hot now that it's in May. I mean, but it's just nice seeing everyone there. You walk around, you know almost everyone you see, and I think you got to enjoy that part of it. But hopefully I get to bring a couple buddies down from school and just show them a good time.
Oh yeah. There's a lot to cover going into this weekend. We hit it all today again. When do you think the next time we're going to do a show? Or do you want to do it? Do you want to do Elite Eight again, or do you want to go? I kind of want to go Elite Eight and then Final Four.
Elite Eight's this weekend, right?
After this weekend, the Elite Eight, or after Monday, the Elite Eight, I think will be finalized.
Yeah. I'm good whenever you want to do it.
Wait, or is this the weekend where they figure out the Final Four? Is it 16 Elite Eight, then Final Four? Let me look.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's it.
I think it is Saturday and Sunday. I think they might be doing it every Saturday though, but maybe they don't have the games up yet. Let me look at the bracket. I'm really curious about this. People on my channel, if you haven't tried the Sweet 16 second chance bracket challenge, I'd highly request it. Me and Patrick are doing it. I'm sure everybody's going to try to have another shot at this tournament because it is a great tournament. But let me find the bracket.
Sam, while you're trying to find that bracket, I know we were going to talk about favorite hole out at Camden Country Club. What is it for you?
Oh yeah, my favorite hole at Camden Country Club is number 8. That you've seen me play. I feel like that's my best hole. I always seem to hit it pretty close there. What about you?
You definitely do. I remember you sinking that long putt across the green. I think it was in the Carnegie one.
Oh yeah. Whenever I wasn't playing real well and I was just like, God, I need a big putt here. And I just like hit the crap out of it and it went straight in.
Yeah, knocked it down. That was cool.
Yeah, Patrick, you're right. This weekend is the Elite Eight. So it looks like we're going to have to wait for the Final Four.
Okay.
Unless you want to do a double dose. I mean, we could do it. I wouldn't mind giving 2 videos for the fans here.
So when is the Elite Eight games?
The 29th and the 30th. And the Sweet 16 is the 27th, 28th.
Okay, sounds good. I can do it after the Elite Eight if that's good with you.
Yeah, let's do it. This tournament's awesome. But there's a lot going on to this weekend, and I want to say thank you again for the show today. Not looking too good right now, but this is probably the best weekend.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
But my fans, I will get this video uploaded, and Patrick will be back, and he'll always be back. Thank you for being here today. Let's ride it out with the March Madness song. Oh yeah. Can the Lady Gamecocks get it done?
Yeah, they definitely can. Like we said, they can shoot the ball. It's gonna be tough because there's a lot of good teams and women's.
A lot of depth.
There's a lot of good teams. And Gina's coming back for UConn, so that obviously is a challenge. But if they can do it, more credit to Dawn Staley. She's a heck of a coach.
Oh yeah.
Anything faster.
That's a good way to end the show. I need to let the song ride out. Patrick, thank you for your time. I'm sure we'll stay in touch. And fans, Patrick will be back on the show coming soon. Thank you for your time, everybody, and I'll see you soon, Pat.
Go Cox, man.
Let's go.